All right, what's going on, everybody? Wanted to hop on here real fast and share this really cool two-part Facebook ad strategy that nonprofits could use to actually generate a ton of donations, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. First off, I want to share that nonprofits have always been close to my heart, right? I know that there's a ton of great agencies in the county that I live, in the city that I live, and I would assume that there's great agencies across the country that are nonprofit organizations. And unfortunately, a lot of those organizations tend to struggle simply because they don't know how to ask for donations in a creative way. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm just going to make sure this is up and running. Okay, we're good to go. So nonprofits, right? How could a nonprofit take a two-step Facebook advertisement process simply because they don't know how to ask for
work, is it?
Okay, so how can a nonprofit take a Facebook ad strategy to create a donation process that actually leads to a ton of donations, right? So check this out. Just imagine, so I want you to think back the last time a nonprofit actually asked you to donate to them, right? So I know it's the beginning of the year, so you probably got quite a few asks from a lot of different people at the end of the year because they were doing like their end of year strategy to reach out and ask for some donations. But I want you to think of this as a more creative way that a nonprofit could use to generate some donations. Now, keep in mind, I say it doesn't cost anything, right? So in my world, in my philosophy, if something costs money up front, but has a way to return on my investment, right? In my mind, that's not really a cost because I get that money back. So check this out, right? So if a nonprofit was to create a Facebook advertisement, right, in the form of a video, right? And they told a really cool, emotional, compelling story about why their agency is great at what they do, right? And now keep in mind, I know that 95% of nonprofit organizations are great at what they do, and they're very passionate and they love to help and serve people. One thing they're not very good at most of the time is telling their story, right? So, and especially in a story that's creative. So one thing that I would suggest that a nonprofit could do to tell their story is to really think through a good storyboard of like, why does their agency exist? What does it actually do for the community? Who is impacted by the services that they offer, right? And what are the long-term benefits? And really think about all that and tell a very wonderful, cool story in the form of video, right? That way, when the person, whoever watches that video feels like, God, that's a awesome organization. Like that video that I just watched, it made my heart feel good, right? That's the type of video that a nonprofit needs to create in order to share amongst their community, their peers, their donors, whoever it is, to be able to get folks emotionally connected to the work that they do, right? Not mentally connected, not through an email or not through a text message or an ask like, hey, we want you to donate to this. Like actually tell a meaningful story that demonstrates the value of the work that you do, right? So the cost up front would definitely be, you'd have to either create the video yourself or hire somebody to do it or whatever it takes to create the compelling video, right? Once you have that product, like that is a gold mine right there. So this is the two-part ad strategy that any nonprofit could use to create a ton of donations at no cost, right? So initially you'd have to invest in creating a video and be able to advertise on Facebook. But check this out. This is where this gets super cool that not a lot of people know about. Right? So let's say that a nonprofit created a video, right, and advertised it on Facebook. And I'm not talking about just posting it and then boosting it. I'm talking about real, legit, true advertising on Facebook to a specific audience at a specific location that have specific characteristics and demographics and all types of information that are strictly the type of people who would donate to this organization. Right? So let's say that this agency created this cool video and advertised it on Facebook and spent $500 in advertising for Facebook to show that video to the people that nonprofit agency wanted that video to be shown to, right? Not with no links to donate here or send us a message or, this is how we take money, just a video that is emotionally compelling, that tells a wonderful story about the value that agency adds to the community and why these services are so needed, and why that you guys or this agency is the best people to offer those services, right? So all you need is a good video up front to be able to demonstrate the value of your organization, and then promote that on Facebook and advertise that. And what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to see that video. A lot of people are going to share that video. A lot of people are going to comment and engage and tag people. And just like, you know, when you tell that right story, and I'm sure like when I'm talking about this, you're probably thinking of different videos or stories or things that you've seen before that are like really, that grab your heart and are just like, man, like I want to be a part of that. Like, what can I do to help? So that's the first part right there. So the upfront piece is to create the video, to create the advertisement that's going to emotionally connect with people, and pay Facebook advertising dollars to promote that video to whether it's just anybody in your community. You could target people who make a certain amount of income. You can target people who live in a certain zip code. You can target people who like certain stuff. You could target people who are on an email list. Let's say you had an email list of 2,000 people who have all donated to you in the past 5 years, right? Now, I'm sure there's a lot of agencies out there right now who are like, yeah, we have this whole list, name, email, and phone number of all these people who have donated to us before, right? So you could call everybody, you could text, you could email everybody, or you could show a really cool video and target just to those people right there, right? And you could target multiple people. You could have different types of ads of the same video, right? But the point is that you want to get that video message across to the people that you want to see it, right? That's step number one. Have the video and get it in front of as many people that you can that are the target donors, the type of people that would donate to your agency, right? The follow-up is where the fortune is made, right? If there's one thing you remember from this video, let it be this: the fortune is always in the follow-up. Right? So there's this awesome thing on Facebook advertising called retargeting, right? And what retargeting is basically a form of, like, when I showed you this video or I showed you this ad, or like you saw this or you watched a little bit of it, right? I targeted you, right? But let's say that I wanted to retarget people who watched 75% or 90% or 95% of that first video that we shared, right? Now, keep in mind, if you post a 4 or 5 minute video on Facebook, chances are most people are probably only going to watch about 20 seconds of that video if you're lucky, right? But for those people that spend the time and watch the entire video and get the full effect of the message that you wanted to get across to them in the video, that person is more likely to donate than anybody else, right? So you could create another advertisement that says, hey, we hope that you enjoyed the video that we posted a couple of days ago, and we know that we love doing what we do, but the fact is it takes money to run this ship, right? You could use a lot better words than that, but basically it's an ask, right? You saw the video, you saw the work that we do. Now we want to ask for your help. You know, this is how you can contribute to the work that we do, which impacts these people in our community and makes our city a better place, right? That's part number 2, right? So part number 1 is to create the 4 to 5 minute emotionally compelling video that highlights the work that you do at your agency, and promote that video on Facebook and target the people who are most likely to donate, meaning the people who have the money, who have donated before, who are most likely to donate, and promote that video to those people over a period of 4 or 5 days. If you spent $500 on Facebook ads over 4 or 5 days, I'm telling you what, everybody in the community is going to see that one video right there, right? And a lot of people are really going to start talking about it, and there's going to be a lot of buzz behind it. And you're going to get tons of views, tons of likes, comments. It's going to be highly engaging. And then when you follow up with the ask, right, that's the magic right there. You've added value. You've demonstrated how you add value to the community. And now you're going for the ask, which is a heck of a lot better than just sending some random text or email or some blast out that says, hey, we want your donations, please donate, right? I don't know. I'm not the type of person who is very generous when it comes to stuff like that. I want you to tell me a story. Hook me in. Why should I donate to this organization? Why should anybody donate to it? You know, and it's just, and keep in mind, I may be a little biased there because I like advertising and I like stories and videos, but if you showed me a good video about what your agency does, how they do it, who it impacts, and just why you guys do what you do. And if I'm emotionally invested in that, and then you ask me for a donation, absolutely, you got it. So there it is, folks. There's the strategy. And here it is. If you do this right, it doesn't cost you anything. It's very possible that you could spend $500 on a video, $500 on advertising, spend $1,000 up front, and recoup $10,000 in donations, maybe even more. I have no clue. Like if you've got a good donor list of people who have already supported your organization in the past, and you show that video to them and you do it the right way, bam, that could be gold for you right there. So that's what I wanted to hop on here and talk about tonight. It was just on my mind, right? There's been a lot of, I'm very involved in the nonprofit world. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people who don't treat that nonprofit, who treat their nonprofit organization like a nonprofit, right? And I think that any nonprofit could and should thrive, right? And they need to think about what they do a little bit more strategically. So that's it, folks. Wanted to hop on here and talk about that tonight. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Done.